What's up, guys? This is That One Apple Guy back at it again, another video, and today we're going to be comparing the Moto G Power 2024 and the Moto G Power 2025. What's that? Yeah, crap. So you can see on the right is going to be the 2025 variant, and on the left is the 2024 variant, and we're going to go over everything today, or most of everything. So, first off, design here. Let's put the 2025 to the side for now. And let's look at this 2024 variant here. We have a eco leather back. So it looks and feels like leather, but it's not leather. It's very, very close though. This one, it's a little sticky. It's not like real leather. Maybe like a really, really damp leather or something. But it really doesn't feel like real leather. The Moto G 5G 2024 feels like real leather. And the 2025, yeah, this one's also sticky too, the Moto G 2025. So, yeah, that could be something up with that, but a little bit sticky. Motorola logo here up to the left here. We have our camera here. So, we have a plastic that goes over, which I don't like. If we take a peek at even the G here, you can see it's integrated. It kind of flows in. This is completely separate. I don't like that. It's just it's a lip. It's not Motorola-esque, you know? And then you're still going to get rockage, of course, but it's not terrible. We do have a dual camera setup, which we'll go over more in depth later with a flash here. Pretty thin profile, not the greatest, but we do have pretty flat edges, but they're slightly rounded. You can see it cannot stay up on its own. So it's slightly rounded. Towards the bottom here, we do have a headphone jack, which is nice to see. A mic, a 30-watt USB-C port, and one out of two dual speakers. On the right side here, we have our fingerprint and power, and our volume. Up top, we have our mic, and to the left, we have our SIM, and we also do have a micro SD card slot built in. I'm not sure if we have a dual SIM on this guy. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick. Now, it's the same exact thing for this. So, if this doesn't have a dual SIM, okay, so it just has a one SIM, which I'll take out to show you here. We have a SIM card slot, and we do have that micro SD expansion slot, which is nice to see the micro SD expansion slot. So let's go ahead and put this back together real quick. Let's just check for the hell of it the Power 25, which we haven't gone over yet. I just want to see if it has. Nope, it's the same exact. Of course that comes out. Of course. Same exact thing. And I like how this hole is separate from the SIM tray. Same with this one. So that is the Power 24 here. You can see in the front we have pretty thick bezels, but not too bad. And the display is really rounded. And it's kind of a thin profile. Here's the 25, which I think already looks way more expensive than it is. Just look at the difference. Like, this already looked good, right? But this just looks a million times better. So this has that same eco leather back, which has the same exact feel to it. Even maybe a little bit more sticky, but it looks better. It's a light blue compared to just a black. Because every phone's black, you know, but this is the Moto G. It's a darker blue than that. And me personally, I think I prefer this darker blue because it's purple, but it's dark blue and navy blue. Like, it depends what light you have it in. And the leather looks worn on this compared to the other models, which I don't like that, but yeah, it's fine. It does collect lint a lot compared to this guy, but it looks nice at least. Brand new. And look, we have this nice flow into a camera bump. It is a huge camera bump though. We have a dual lens setup. We'll go over later, and then this kind of camera. They call it a ambient light sensor or something. But I seen a teardown on this. It has nothing here. So that's just a fake lens. They're just putting a fake lens there, which is kind of AliExpress Temu-ish. I'm not sure if I like that. I don't like that. And then a flash mimicking a camera, which I like the design. This looks really good, especially compared to this. This looks a lot better. But you're getting a lot, and I mean a lot of camera rockage. Look at this. This is the old one. Barely anything. Look at this. So, whoops. Yeah, a lot of camera rockage. And the sides here are completely flat. No little bevels here. I love that. You could stand this up straight here if you wanted to. Which I did in the other video. I'm not sure why it's not. Okay, there we go. You could stand it up straight. You cannot stand this one up straight no matter how hard you try. You can't stop us now. No, you can't stand it up straight. Once this stays, it's pretty much there. So, yeah. Same setup here. So, I'm not going to go over again. Same 30 watts. And you both, on both of these phones, you do get 15 watt wireless charging. Which is super cool. But in the front, you see a little bit of a difference. You're getting pretty good thin bezels. You're getting pretty symmetrical. The bottom one's a little bit thicker, but it's pretty thin. And it's more of a square display, which is definitely better. I love the more squared off displays. So let's kind of go over a couple things here. The SoCs here. We're going to go over those later. But this is pretty good difference there. They both have 1080p, 120 Hz, wide color gamut displays. Now, when we look at each display, this one to me always looked dull, and it always looked not sharp. It looked way too soft. This one also looks really soft, but it is sharper than this one. And it just looks so much better to me. Even though they're both 1080p screens. I don't know if it's because of the thinner bezels and the squareness. But it looks a lot better. So, the display, in my eyes, it's better on the new one. Both 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. Absolutely great. They both have 5,000 milliamp hour batteries. Oh, they do have a cycle count. That's cool. So only 28 cycle counts. Yeah, I barely use this phone, guys. And basically the same exact stuff. Now let me go ahead and connect this one to my Wi-Fi real quick. Because I just got a new Wi-Fi, so I'm going to connect that. Oh, that's another thing. The vibration motor. Now, there's no way for me to prove this on camera. But the vibration motor is definitely better on the new one. It's like an S10. It's super flagship-like. This really cheat the old one. So, just even going up into the app tray, it's so much of a jolt. It's a lot nicer. So, that's definitely good. Okay, so, alright, anyway. So, what was I saying? Okay, processors, let's go now. Because that is a big difference. Okay, so, old one. Dimensity 7020. New one, Dimensity 6300. If you know about MediaTek, the lower the number, the worse. This is a lot lower number. It's a worse processor. I'm not sure why they would put a worse processor, but in my eyes, they both run super freaking quick. And if you're going to be upgrading a phone, though, it should have a way better processor. Not a downgrade here. You can see just in these Geekbench scores, it is a downgrade. So, it's not that big of a deal because they're both really fast. We're going to load up a couple things real quick. Let's see how much slower it is. Let's load up YouTube. Okay, so you can see it was not too far behind the new one. But it should be right on point. Let's go to a small app like Calculator. Exact same. Block Blast. They both have Moto Game Time and... Oh, the new one loaded up first. Let's see which goes in the game first. That'd be your new one also. And they both run exactly the same. So you can see here, they're not too far behind. In some ways, the old one beats out the new one. So I wouldn't really take that as a deal breaker. The cameras. Both 50 megapixel OIS main sensors. And both have ultra wide on Moto G Power 2025. 2024. Oh. What's the megapixels on ultra wide on Moto G Power 2024? What's the megapixels on ultra wide on Moto G Power 2025? Both 8 megapixels. So, yeah. Let's go in a camera. And you can see here, they're both running Android 15. But the new one has a new camera app layout. And it is so much better. It's so much more flagship-like. Now, blur that, please. I'm so sorry, but... Anyways, you can see macro, 0.5, 1x. This has a new 2x option. And instead of this little thing here, and then it jumps, it's a wheel. And it's so much quicker. It does jump also, but it's a quicker jump. And it zooms in so nice with that vibration motor. So, yeah, it's a way better setup here. But overall, the picture quality, exactly the same here. For some reason, it will not let me change to 60 FPS on this. That's weird. Does it even have full HD 60 FPS? That would be crazy if it didn't. AI video, no. It's not what I want. So I don't even think it has 60 FPS video. Which is quite disappointing. Because I don't see any other mode that I can go into to change it. So, does Moto G Power 2025 have 60 FPS video? Yes. But only with its ultra wide. Ugh. So I guess it's 60 FPS in the ultra wide only. Which is stupid. Like if I want 60 FPS, I want to record it in my 1X. So that's crappy. You're losing your 60 FPS. Overall here, if you have the Moto G Power 2024 and you're looking to upgrade to the 2025 model, I wouldn't say you're crazy. It's definitely a better phone. It's not faster. It doesn't have a better camera. If anything, it has a worse camera. But it feels more premium in the hand, and it just, to me, runs smoother. Just because it started out on Android 15. This one started out on 14. And it's just, to me, better screen, way better look. So if you care about the look of your phone, get the new one. But if you don't, there's really no point. One big point here is this has an IP69K rating, which is super. So it's IP68 rating, but it can withstand super high pressure jets of water. Okay, that's the 69 claim. With the 68 claim, because it's IP69K, it's going to be able to withstand 2 meters of water for 30 minutes, I believe. And that is just crazy to see on a $300 phone. This guy had no waterproofing whatsoever. Just a little coating on the screen. So non-waterproof, very waterproof, or water-resistant, I should say. Don't be swimming in this. Also, there is a mic here, which is new. So maybe better sound. But overall, if you care about water resistance, better looks, and smoother kind of performance, get this one. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. See you next one. Peace.